convey to President Biden what you said this morning?
I'm not having any conversations with you or anybody else about what I talked to the president about. We all do this all.
Do you believe that?
I never do. I never do, so it's nothing new.
I understand, Madam Speaker. Do you believe that him waiting so long to make this decision could harm the
I'm not
party?
making any comments in the hallway about the fate of our nation. Okay?
Are you concerned whether or not he can win in November?
I think he can win.
Do you believe he should run for re-election?
I'm not. Am I speaking English to you? I'm not going to be making any statements about any of that right now in the hallway.
Powerful US Senator Chuck Schumer has reportedly told major donors he's open to replacing Joe Biden on the Democratic ticket. Actor George Clooney has published a devastating opinion piece calling for the president to step aside. Sky News Washington correspondent Annalise Nielsen joins me live now for the latest. Annalise, what has Chuck Schumer said?
Well, this is a report from Axios, which has been following the hour-by-hour changes we're seeing on Capitol Hill. So this report says that Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, has told some senior donors he's open to a change. That's a huge change in rhetoric, especially from what we've seen publicly. And something that's helped move the dial today has been the comments from former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. She is a longtime ally of Joe Biden, a friend, and an extremely powerful figure in US politics and Democratic politics especially. So when she's asked about whether Joe Biden should step aside, and she's somewhat unequivocal, that is a huge red flag for the Biden campaign. Listen to what she had to say on TV earlier today.
Does he have your support to be the head of the Democratic ticket?
As long as the president it's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short. I think overwhelming support of the caucus. It's not for me to say. I'm not the head of the caucus anymore, but he's beloved. He is respected, and people want him to make that decision, not me.
He has said he has made the decision. He has said firmly this week he is going to run. Do you want him to run?
I want him to do whatever he decides to do. And that's the way it is.
The big development today, though, has been George Clooney weighing in this extraordinary op-ed in the New York Times. So George Clooney is a longtime Democrat, a very influential figure in Democrat politics, and a big fundraiser. Just a few weeks ago, he organized this fundraiser in Los Angeles that raised around $30 million US, one of the biggest fundraisers of all time. And we were told at the time when this video happened and Barack Obama apparently had to lead off Joe Biden from the stage, that was a fake video. That's what we were told. It was a cheap fake by the White House. They said that this wasn't indicative at all of any kind of cognitive decline. So this is why this is so remarkable that we've seen this description written in the New York Times by George Clooney. He's written in this op-ed, in the last 4 years, he's won many of the battles he's faced, but the one battle he cannot win is the fight against time. None of us can. It's devastating to say it, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe big effing deal Biden of 2010. He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. He was the same man we all witnessed at the debate. Was he tired? Yes. A cold? Maybe. But our party leaders need to stop telling us that 51 million people didn't see what we just saw. We're also terrified by the prospect of Trump term that we've opted to ignore every warning sign. That is going to move a lot of other donors, some of whom have already said they're not going to be donating any more to the Biden-Harris campaign if Joe Biden continues to be the candidate. This week, though, we've seen the president trying to move on from the debate fallout. He's been wrapped up in the NATO summit, which has been happening here in Washington, D.C. He also had a bilateral meeting with the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Keir Starmer, who was playing nice with Joe Biden, as you'd expect, but you could hear just how softly spoken Joe Biden was compared to the new Prime Minister of England.
There's a lot going on. I think you're seeking closer ties in Europe is good for all of us. The Transatlantic Alliance, I think it's a great idea that we're going to be working together.
We're very pleased to be able to come so early in the government to recommit to NATO, to recommit to the special relationship, and to have the opportunity to discuss these affairs with you is really important.
The big finale of the NATO summit is going to be this press conference with Joe Biden. We don't get many opportunities to see Joe Biden in a press conference format. So this is going to be make or break, as he then has to head back into the reality of domestic politics, which is not moving in his favour.
And George Clooney weighing in, that was really not the headline he needed right now, was it, Annalise? Thank you very much for that.